Alright. So, now I'm still driving, and this is, once again, driving thoughts. So, I thought that I'd just share a little bit with you on what does it take to become a successful hairdresser. Again, I'll just explain a little bit about my career before we get started to kind of just tell you why I am here to talk to you. I am Steven Adams. I own 2, soon to be 3 salons in Minneapolis. Excuse me. Minneapolis, St. Paul area. And what I really want to share is just kind of like a little bit. I've been a hairdresser for about 28 years now. And right now I'm driving to Milwaukee from Minneapolis, where I'm going to meet up with Nick Arrojo, and we're going to do a little bit of a presentation to salon owners today about why they should think about carrying Arrojo products, and also a little bit about some razor cutting tomorrow, and just kind of like what some of the advantages, some of the education, and how that education can help support you. So in my career, I've gone from being an apprentice to an assistant to a hairdresser behind the chair, and I started in Milwaukee, so this is kind of like going home. I then left Milwaukee and moved to Minneapolis. When I did that, I then became an assistant all over again. An assistant for quite a while, longer than I was anticipating. I was only anticipating a few months, and it ended up being a lot longer. And that's all right. I learned a lot. It really trained me in the world of discipline and understanding from how to work through frustration of like, yeah, I've been a seasoned hairdresser, why am I assisting? And really kind of forced me to like humble myself a little bit and realize that you should always be in a preparation area, or like you should always be prepared to like learn and to start over. And it really teaches you to like understand other people's systems and cultures. From there, as I got on the floor with Horst salons, I really grew rapidly. But that's because I spent the whole time as an apprentice and as an assistant really driving, I'm going to be on the floor soon. I'm going to be on the floor soon. I'm going to be taking clients soon. Send me your children. Send me your husbands. To every single person, continuously, over and over and over. I'm sure that every single person that I talked to was probably tired of a year and a half of listening to me say, I'm going to be on the floor soon. I'm sure that they were like, oh my goodness, this guy is relentless. But no matter what, they did send me their husbands and their children. And off of that, I started building clientele quickly, because I had a foundation. And then from there, I grew into selling retail and really talking about retail and rebooking your clients. And really, within a few years of being on the floor, I became one of the top producing hair cutters at Horst salons, which then helped me get into education, which then helped me end up on the stage at Intercoiffure and working with Serious Business and doing Veda Jam tours all over with Horst. So the opportunities in my career have happened because of what I've done behind the chair. So to be successful, you first have to have an idea of what you want. That's like rule number 1. To become a successful hairdresser, just to become successful in general, you have to have you gotta like have a clear path of what you want. Sit down, take some time, and figure that out. That's like the number 1 thing you gotta do. By doing that, it gives you the ability to self-reflect and kind of like start to create a path. But that doesn't mean that that path is going to be exactly what you're going to do. It's just a guide of where you want to go. And then you got to just mold and move it and change it from there. And I think it's really important to be able to like start thinking of it that way. Just thinking it as it's a path, but just like when you're hiking on a path and a trail, going from here, point A to point B, isn't a straight line. It's not clear, it's not simple. If it is, that's super awesome and it happens. But for the most part, it's complicated and twisted, and you get lost and you get off the wrong side. So you kind of like have to just constantly be adapting to your path, but always staying focused on where you want to go. And I think that's one of the main things, is having a clear idea of where you want to go. And it can be as simple as, I want to be doing 20 clients a week. That's a pretty simple, clear goal. So how do you reach that? Well, the first thing you have to do is you gotta like, okay, how many are you gonna get 20 clients? Let's build a path on how to get 20 clients. It takes a lot to get new business. To get new clients, you gotta like hustle. Meaning, not in the salon. I mean, that's part of it. You gotta talk to everybody in the salon and in the chair. But if you want to get new people who've never been anywhere near you before, never been to your business before, never been in your chair, never had a haircut from you, what you gotta do is like work hard at getting them in. So the way to do that is to like talk to a lot of people. You gotta network. Networking is number one. It's like a powerful thing. So our first step is you got to set a clear path. Got to know what you want. Second, you got to drive new business, and driving new business means networking. That means networking in the salon with your clients, but it also means networking outside. And as I like to say, all the hard work, your real job as a hairdresser is when you're not doing hair. Because when you're doing hair, you're getting rewarded for all your hard work. You've already gotten the people in your chair. That's the reward. The hard work is actually getting them in your chair. And this starts with like when you're training, when you're in beauty school and you gotta find models, you gotta find like, oh, I gotta do a diagonal forward bob. Oh, I gotta do a balayage. You gotta go find those people and you gotta get them in. You don't want to find your friends that want free shit. What you really want is you want to find people that have a need. Now, this is the hardest part. I think this is a hard thing of this career. But this is where you will grow and become very successful. Because if you can communicate to people and you can talk to people and you can convince them to come to see you, you're going to win. And you got to practice. And you can't give up. Because I'm going to tell you, when I first started, when I moved to Minneapolis, I had to find 3 of the exact same haircuts every week. I knew nobody in my city, nobody in Minneapolis, except for my grandmother and my partner at the time. And she only wanted to have so many haircuts. So what did that tell you? I moved to a city where I knew nobody, except for my grandmother and my partner. Now, that means I had to hustle. So even though I was working full time, as soon as I'd get done with work, I would have to like rush out and go where people hang out. Now, social media makes it a little bit easier, but not really, not anymore. I mean, it did like 7 years ago. Social media was like a great way to build a clientele. And it was awesome because if you were one of the few that were on social media at that time, it was easy. And you could just, boom, you could find a following. If you were like smart and on top of it. We're 7-8 years in. 7-8 years into social media. Now, for the last 7-8 years, every single person is telling you, use social media, use social media. So now there's like thousands and thousands and thousands and millions of people using social media to drive business. So it's going to be a little bit harder still with social media. You can do it, but you got to be able to use your social media outside of your social network, outside of your friends, outside of your family, because again, your friends and family, hopefully they're already supporting you, but usually it seems like your friends and family are usually the ones that want free shit. You don't want people who want free shit. You want people that are willing to pay you. So you got to get out there and network. I recommend going to like Toastmasters to help, because then you're learning to present, and at the same time you're like meeting people, and usually professionals that are working on the same things that you are. That builds a bond, and it also helps you get them in the chair faster because you have a commonality. Another thing too is go where people go. It doesn't always mean go to the bar. Sometimes it means go to an art opening. But when you go to the art opening, have a goal of, I'm going to hand out 25 cards tonight. Because you know if you talk to 25 people, you might get one. If you're lucky, you get two. You got to go into it with a mind frame, understanding that you know that you're going to get a lot more no's than yes. And you want to give people the intrigue that they have to come and see you. So you want to, like, as you're talking to them, first thing is people always like find out that you do hair, and they're like, oh my god, my hair looks terrible. What would you do with it? You know what? That's where you come up with a new phrase. Don't tell them what you would do right then and there. You don't want to give all away your secrets there, because they're just going to tell their hairdresser what you told them. No. You got to like give them a couple of little hints, and then be like, oh, you know what? We should really do a consultation in the salon where you can come in. We'll sit down. We'll go through everything that we're going to do, and we'll work out what's going to be customized just for you. But that's it. You got to intrigue them enough that they want to come and see you. And if they want to come and see you, then you're going to grow. So, the two things that we talked about so far. We talked a little bit about setting a clear goal and path. Then you want to like work on that goal. Finding clients is a big one. That's a big goal. But set that goal. Say, I want 25 clients. Know that if you're going to find 25 clients, that means you're probably going to have to like talk to about 200 people. Yeah, you heard me right. You're going to have to talk to about 200 people to find 25 clients. But those 25 clients are going to love you. And if they love you, and they'll be willing to grow with you. Once you find them and they're in your chair, then you have a second job. The second job, once they're in the chair, is even though you're working on a service that day, get them geared up and excited about coming in next time. Do it right away in the beginning. We call it 4 next time factors. Talk about next time in the consultation right away while you're consulting with them. Then you want to like talk about next time during the service when you're also educating them about products. You know, maybe this time you're blow drying their hair smooth, but they're like, next time when you come in, we're going to diffuse your hair and make it really cool. Get them excited about it. Because if you get them excited, they're going to want to come back. But if you don't get them excited, then they're probably not going to come back. Then you're relying purely on like if they like you, or if they like the haircut. And generally it's like, or the color, or whatever it is service you're doing. But generally you want to get them excited to come back because you have ideas. You're sparking their interest. You got to spark their interest. If you spark their interest, they're going to want to come back, and they're going to like, oh my god, what are they going to do next? Maybe it's as simple as like, what outlandish outfit are you going to wear? I mean, you don't know. It could be anything. But you got to get them back. And you got to get them to rebook before they leave. Because if they rebook their clients, if you rebook your clients before you leave, then you know you're guaranteeing how much money you're going to make. And you're going to guarantee them a spot. And they're going to get guaranteed what service they're going to get. So it's really important to be able to do that, to kind of like get them in. So again, set a clear goal, get new clients, network. When they are in your chair, work at getting them to come back. Fourth thing is really kind of talking about products, educating them on what you're using, why you're using it, how it's going to resolve their challenges. Those are the main things, because as a hairdresser, if we can resolve their challenges either through the service or through the product, the majority of the time it's the product that helps us solve their challenges. And how we teach them to like style their hair, whether it's teaching them how to use a curling wand, or whether it's teaching them how to use a round brush, or whether it's teaching them how to use a pedal brush, or whether it's like teaching them to dry their hair with a diffuser, whatever it might be, or just teaching them so that they understand the maintenance of like what shampoo and conditioner to use, when to use their shampoo, when to use a co-wash. Like here we need to use a co-wash because this is gonna like help keep your oils in your hair so that your hair doesn't get so dry and fuzzy. All of those things make you a valuable hairdresser and a true professional, because you can't be a professional if you're not offering those things. You gotta like offer each of those. Retail is a huge key part of it. And then the fifth step of being a great hairdresser is to track it. And what that means is you want to track every single thing that you do. Meaning you have a goal. So if your goal is 25 new clients and you want to rebook 50% of your people and you want to sell one product to every single client, you have to make sure that every day you track it and you see how well you did. You have to compete against yourself every day. Because if you compete against yourself every day and you like watch what you're doing and you push yourself more and more and more, then you're going to get better. That's what makes a hairdresser successful. Goals, new clients, rebooking, retail, and then also tracking and making sure that you really are keeping up on what your tasks are. Because anything beyond that is all fluff and stuff. But realistically, those are the key things. Then you want to do the other fluff and stuff, which is, if you want to say 6 or bonus, and that is constantly get education. Constantly learn. Constantly improve. Constantly get better. Because if you're not doing those things, you're just existing. And then it's going to feel like you're working a dead-end job. And you're going to feel like you're not getting anywhere. So I really want you guys to like be great. And to be great, you have to first believe it. Then you got to follow these steps. And you got to work on those steps. And there's not ever a time where you stop these steps. Because no matter how many years you've been in the business, you have to have new clients. No matter how many years you've been in the business, you got to get your clients to rebook. And no matter how many years you've been in the business, you got to educate them and sell them new retail. Because those are your drivers. Those are the things that'll make you successful. And because those are the things that your clients need. They need to come back. They need to be challenged. And then you need to benefit yourself by getting education and pushing yourself. So, hopefully this helps. It's deep, driving thoughts. All right, take care.